Yeah, y'alls. Welcome back, y'alls, to the Solomon Project. Where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. They were wrong. They were wrong. Jackson, what's going on? Yo, buttermilk biscuits. Yeah, I don't know why, man. Oh, you do? Spill the beans, brother. Spill the beans. What you got going on? You decided to go with the redhead after all? Is that what it is? Because that would be big news. Did you decide that? Listen, today's topic is going to be critical. Were you at the zoo or did you go to Australia to get that done? How did it feel? Let me tell you something about kangaroos. You must have had a cup on because a kangaroo's kick can cut you wide open and your intestines will be hanging out. So if he kicks you out there, you better go check. Yeah, well, you better go check yourself out after that. After that blow, after that devastating blow. Hold on, man. Why? I got two different times going on. I set it up for 9 o'clock, and this thing came on. Well, my laptop is saying 8:55. My tablet is saying 8:56. They're both saying 8:56 now. Wow, I'm way ahead of the game. I'm super early. Booty, huh? You like that scent? Booty. Some people like that. Do you like that? Okay. Want to see a picture of that? All right. Let's go find one of that. Like that. Let's find that for you, man. Let's see. Let's see if we find some a hottie. Oh, I found one for you, man. Look at that. That was quick. That was like Nestle quick. Check it out. You're gonna like this one. Oh, let me see if I can. Yeah, here we go. You're gonna like this one. This is one of the better ones. Butter quick, baby. Let me give it to you the way you like it. I know you like this. Oh, the professor's in his house. Let me share this with
Dirty.
that's what Jackson likes right there. Flame on. She wanted to see a hot girl. I think she's hot. I mean, she got flames coming off her body. That's hot, isn't it?
You got issues.
Yeah, I got a whole roll of tissue. Oh, you said
Okay.
I'm gonna have a
Nice
special guest
try.
on today. Uh,
Okay, who?
her name is. Oh, matter of fact, let me put up her thing. She got a thing. Let me put up her thing. Let me put up a thing because we're going to talk about a subject matter that we both brought up in previous videos. Let me get her. Here we go. Here we go.
So this is one of them things I might want to clock out then. That's what you're saying?
No, not at all. I mean, I it's up to you. But I don't think you need to clock out. I don't know. Here she is. Ready? This is her channel.
Where do you find all these people?
At the fair. At the market. At the market. Get into the zone. She just recently got monetized. I don't know if you remember. If you remember that video that I did, what was it called? Attitude of Gratitude. I don't know if you got to see it or not. Uh-oh. Did I lose you, Professor?
No, I'm listening.
Yeah. On Attitude of Gratitude, I spoke about let's see if I can refresh my own memory. So I spoke about how these motivational speakers talk about adopting an attitude of gratitude, and I critiqued it by saying that all too often it's an approach, but it's a selfish approach. Demonstrating gratitude for the sake of acquiring money. And then I started talking about how, and then I was talking about how the fact that if you're not transactional and you want to display an attitude of gratitude, then you're not going to want to forget all your loved ones who do things for you on a regular basis, right? Like when, like if you make breakfast for your husband, a lot of times unexpectedly. Hey, Britt, Family Fun. That's Yolanda right there. Britt Family Fun. And sometimes, hey there, Yolanda. So sometimes you can, and by the way, you can come up, Yolanda, whenever you want.
Okay.
I got it pinned. So, I'm sorry. What were you gonna say, Professor?
I wasn't saying nothing. It's just you jump back and forth between topics. I'm seeing where you're going with your story.
Right. So here we go. You make breakfast for your husband, and if you adopt an attitude of gratitude, then of course you're gonna be grateful if it's something, especially when it's something that's not routine.
Right.
If it's something that's, but when you see these motivational speakers, they don't include all that because their focus is just on something selfish. It's all about you adopting this view for the sake of making more money. And I went into how somehow I made the connection between that and domestic violence. And that's what Coach Mean Reen was talking about in one of her videos. And I had asked her because she knows about stuff like that because that was her line of work. She's a sociologist or psychologist, but she was in that field. I'm not sure if she's a psychologist or sociologist. She worked in that field. So I asked her to critique what I said just to make sure that I wasn't talking nonsense, because that's not my field of interest. And I got that information off of a coworker back in 2007, so it's been a while. Here we go. She's here. She made it. Hey, Coach.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, yes, loud and clear.
Okay.
All right.
I don't have my camera on because.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and
so.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off.
But I'm here.
You're gonna sign off, Professor?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right. That was the professor, aka Tara Helms. Let me put up her YouTube channel real quick so that you can get a look and see.
Okay.
It'll just take me a second. And I call the professor because she got her degree in history.
Okay.
Primarily African history or Black American history, if I'm not mistaken. If the professor's still there, she can correct me.
Can everybody hear me in the chat too?
Everybody can.
Oh, hi everyone.
Coach is in the house. So, Coach, I already had your page up, but I'll put it up again. And here's the professor's page. This is one of her pages. Tara Helms. She's a soap maker, so feel free to connect with her channel and potentially participate in purchasing of soaps.
Yeah.
And let me put your page up. So this is the Coach.
Mean Reen.
The Mean Reen. Now, Coach, how did you come up with that name? Why is the word mean in there?
Well,
So just how mean are you? Why?
no, it has to do with when
Inquiring minds want to know.
It has to do with my workouts. Like I encourage people to push themselves past their comfort zone, and people don't like that, so they start calling me mean. So I was like, "Oh, mean! I'm mean,
Whoa, so
mean."
It rhymes, right? Why not?
So we
That's
just
great
kind of went
marketing.
with it, and then on top of that, it's a conversation starter. People always ask, "Why I put mean there?"
You got me starting that conversation with it. That's how it works. That's perfect. Hang on one second. I want to remind everybody real quick before we get started. I want to remind everybody that don't forget, look at the description below. There's a link to Webull if you don't have a platform yet that you're using in order to get yourself started in the stock market. They offer up to 20 free stocks. Up to 20 free stocks. Of course, it all depends on exactly how much you open up the account with. Okay, Coach. So I was explaining to the professor how this particular session came about, where I asked you to critique something that I mentioned that you have expertise in regards to domestic violence.
Yeah.
And well, before we get started there, explain to people what you do exactly.
So,
especially with because you're a fitness.
Yeah. So I'll start with that, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I used to do as far as my profession. So,
Okay.
Right, I am a virtual fitness coach. I do virtual fitness classes live on Zoom Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. All fitness levels are welcome, because what I do is I meet you where you are, and then I encourage you to level up.
Okay.
So the classes are about an hour long, and I also do one-on-one personal fitness coaching, all virtual, and I do training with people's food, like teaching people how
Oh,
to
so it
change
does include diet. I was going to
yeah,
ask you about that. Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I do that's my business. And then right now I'm more of an administrator, but for about 10 years I was a social worker, and I specialized in a lot of different things, but one of the things that I worked in the most was domestic violence.
Okay. Excellent.
Hmm.
So the point I brought up in my video is right up your alley. Is that right?
Oh yes, completely right up the alley.
You mentioned also in your video that it's a topic that's not discussed very often, yet it is extremely important and should be discussed often. Is that right?
Definitely, because we need to bring awareness, because sometimes people don't even realize that the red flags that are present in their relationship
Mm-hmm.
are really domestic violence. There's a lot of
Right.
people automatically think, like, when you say domestic violence, people assume that it means physical violence.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I'm laughing because, uh, like I said, I'm a victim, and even though there was some physical violence toward me, it's
Mhm.
not. I can't really say that it was. Maybe a certain aspect of it, you could say that. Well, wait a minute, that's a little overboard, but yeah, the psychological,
Yes. And
I
like,
was impacted.
and that violence, we just look at that word as something that causes physical harm, but psychological trauma is violent too.
Now, there's something that I've been saying for many years. Psychology was never my forte, or I was never interested in psychology to the point where I had to take more than one semester of college.
Right.
But there was something that, and it, I'm reflecting on my own upbringing in my own life when I say this, that the psychological is far worse than the physical, because with the physical, for the most part, you heal,
Right.
but the psychological sometimes never goes away.
Right.
Okay, so please elaborate.
So you said it in a nutshell. Like, if the psychological damage, like, even psychological damage is so significant that even though the physical scars, like when you get hit and punched, those those scars can heal, but
Uh-oh.
have is a situation where if you get into another relationship, now your guard is up.
I'm not sure. I might have lost you for like a few seconds.
Uh-oh.
Can you rewind a little bit?
What part did I stop at? The psychological? Even if you're getting hit?
Right. You
Okay.
heal and then go from there.
Yeah. So you're physically you will heal, but you're left with scars. You're left with the emotional scars. You're left with the trauma of the situation, the memories, being triggered by certain sounds. And then when you get into a new relationship, if you do get into a new relationship, your guard is up. So that new
So you become
person,
defensive.
right? And you bleed all over the new person.
I got a question. Is it just confined to a new relationship, or does it go beyond that, like into your work life and every other social interaction that you have?
Yeah, definitely. It goes into all aspects of your life, like your work life. Like, you can go to work, and sometimes, like, when you're going, just think about it in general. It doesn't even have to be domestic violence. When you have a lot of stress happening at home, when you go in to work, you're kind of on edge. So if those people at work, if somebody acts up, you're bound to explode on them. And that's not good for your job, is it?
Well, especially not the job I had. I was a correction officer for 10 years. So
Oh, wow.
taking that, yeah, so taking that into that environment, that was not going to work at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Now, I concentrate a lot on this channel. Well, maybe not a lot, but enough about, hey, there you are. So I concentrate a great deal on finance because I was a stockbroker. And so, being that I grew up in poor neighborhoods, but I was exposed to people who had wealth, I tried to enlighten people from the hood, especially people from the hood,
Yeah.
about the advantages of maybe adopting a new mindset and maybe experimenting with looking into things like the stock market. I know people love looking into business, but also the stock market, which is business related. So a person who suffers these traumas, can they be derailed and not enhance their life financially?
Definitely. Because like, so if you're in a domestic violence situation, you can sometimes, not every single situation is the same, but let's say it was financial abuse, right? Which
Right.
is a thing.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it sometimes it is incorporated in the cycle of domestic violence.
Yeah. So if financial abuse was one of the types of abuse you experienced, now when you enter into a world where now you have to manage your own finances, it's like a brand new child trying to figure it out, right? Because you've spent years and years being restricted from bank accounts, the mortgage payment or the rent payment, all of the bills. Like you have no idea how to handle and manage your I've actually witnessed a few women like try to navigate that, and it's very overwhelming for them. I mean, just simple things, paying like regular bills. So don't even take into consideration trying to learn the stock market. That's not happening, not right away, maybe, and then the other piece of it is you're so insecure and you second guess yourself for everything because you spent years being told how dumb you are, how stupid you are. Nobody's gonna want you. All of that. And when you keep hearing the same song, like what happens when you hear the same song over and over? It gets stuck in your head. So it's the same thing. Yeah, you start to believe it. And so like there's a certain level of confidence you have to have, especially when you start playing with the stock market a little bit. You have to you got to have a little bit of confidence, right? So imagine like it's been for lack of better words, it's been beaten out of you. So now you have no confidence. And even like to go to like a bank, say like having to walk into a bank to open an account and talk to people, it's really it affects every aspect of their lives. That's why
a little side note,
mm-hmm.
Because of what you're saying, I think I'm going to take that into consideration now with my approach to the hood and finance. So I got to keep these people in mind.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out a way to kind of like give them that boost, that confidence to help them.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. So I gotta formulate baby steps. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, it's baby steps. It's like opening a bank account, like stuff that you take for granted that you have, like having credit cards. Because I've gone to like a financial class. Because whenever I was the type of social worker that if I was referring a family to a program,
Mm-hmm.
I would go to the program myself and see if I was the person receiving the services, would I benefit from this? Right. So when you go to some of these like financial classes, or what did they call them? It wasn't called financial class. I can't remember the exact term, but it's like it is like a financial class.
Right. Financial literacy.
Like, yeah, like a literacy class. They start talking about credit cards and credit scores and all of this. And yes, we should know that. But if you've never had a bank account, I'm pretty sure you don't know what your credit score is.
Right.
And you definitely don't have credit cards. Right. So we've got to and then people get intimidated by that, or they just clock out because it doesn't apply to them.
Someone who successfully breaks away from whatever the source of that violence is.
Mm-hmm.
How hard is it to get them to start following those steps that you're talking about?
Well, it depends. Like, this is different levels. Like, some people are more or faster to come out of it than others. It really depends on how isolated they were. And because some people are involved in a domestic violence situation, but they still go to work every day. They're still out in the world, and they do have a bank account, and they were the one paying all the bills. So it's not every single case, but in cases that are severe financial abuse, it can take a while depending on the person. And they really need a lot of support. And then if they are involved in a domestic violence situation, sometimes if the service provider that they're going to is a male, that doesn't do well for them. They don't respond well to that. Yeah.
They become defensive.
They become afraid. Like, they have their guard is, I wouldn't say defensive.
More fear.
Kind of, like, it's more of a fear,
Got it.
Or a trigger. These are just all things to kind of keep in mind when people are reacting the way that they react. You never know what they've gone through and why you're seeing them present the way that they do.
Right. Well, like I said in the video, I was one of those ignorant folk that would say, if you're in that, why don't you just pack up and get the hell out? Right?
You're not alone. And that's why I was like, I don't really have any criticism for what you said, because anytime someone can acknowledge well, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or I was wrong, or I'm not gonna, you didn't really have I didn't have any criticism for that, because a lot of people think that. A lot of people are like, well, just leave. Don't let him keep hitting on you. But that's the intricate part that people don't kind of miss. When it's a domestic violence situation, it doesn't start like that. He doesn't come in with his hands out and punching you in the face. Everybody would run away. Like, you don't know this guy and he's punching you, you're gonna run away. That's not how it works. They hook you in first. They're romantic. They're paying you attention that you never had before. They are attentive, the most attentive, the most charismatic people that you could meet. Because I had to interview a lot of the perps, a lot of the batterers, and they're very charismatic. They're smiling and joking. They're funny, all of that. It's not just they're this monster all the time. That they save that for behind closed doors, But
I know that.
Yeah. So they come right. So they come to you with like a wolf in sheep's clothing. So they come to you like a little sheep, and then the wolf comes out later.
I'm going to tell you about my home life growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can maybe help you build some type of psychological profile for me, right? So that you understand where this ignorance comes from. In my home life. So there was some extreme violence with the kids, not with my parents. My parents, growing up, they were equals in my eyes. I never saw my father raise his hand to my mother. And understand, this is a woman that was born, literally born right across the street from him. Okay.
Wow.
They've been together since she was born. Okay. And he has never, I've never seen him lay a hand on that woman ever. Now, they go back and forth and they get crazy when they go back. As a matter of fact, it's so crazy, it's comical how they go back and forth. Some of the most creative insults I've ever heard in my life was between those two. But my mother never exhibited any fear toward this man.
Right.
So in the home life, they were balanced. As far as power, there was no one overpowered the other. It was just, listen, for example, I want to include this story. This is how ridiculous it is. Okay, and forgive me. I'm gonna. Is your family Caribbean oriented? Or originally from the Caribbean?
My parents are both Jamaican.
Okay, so perfect, because this is where my father got this expression from. Okay, so this is wild. And forgive me, everybody, because it's about to get adult up in here. So this is an example of what I'm talking about. So my mom is cooking. She's cooking breakfast. My dad. Yep. So my dad's got his paper, but it's like halfway covering his face. My mom's cooking, and she's talking away, and he says, "Rose, why don't you just shut up?" Yo, just like that. And she dropped whatever she was using to cook with, and she turned around. Hey, quiet. She turned around. So who you talking to? Come on, Rose. I'm just, whatever. She goes about her cooking again, and she's running. She's telling her story, whatever. And I'm looking at his face, and I'm saying to myself, "Oh, here it comes.
Here it comes.
He's whipping something up." So he puts the paper down, and he says, "Rose, you know what? You're a mother's cunt." Yo, understand, my mom don't speak a lick of English. He said it in English, and she don't speak a lick of English. So of course I'm laughing. I got the Dominican.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm laughing my ass off.
Dominicans give it up. I know.
Okay. So
Spicy.
very spicy. So my mom dropped whatever she had because I'm laughing hard, and she turns around and she yanks me by the shoulder, and she said, "What'd he say?" I said, "I don't know, Mom. I don't know." "You're lying. Tell me what he said." I said, "Mom," and he's got this crazy ass smirk on his face. He's kind of like laughing and not laughing. So she gets on his case.
I'm sorry. Can you put the link again in the chat? I want to switch over to my laptop.
My
phone is little. I can't really see you.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm still here, so you can continue. I'm just gonna. You know what? I might have to come down and come back.
That's cool. That's
okay,
cool.
Let me do that. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. All right. Yeah, Jackson. Some whoop ass. Quiet's in the house. Hey, Quiet. I know Yolanda's in the house. Hey, Yolanda. So we'll wait for her to come back. Yeah. So, like I was saying to you, to Coach, my parents were equals. That's what I saw growing up. So I never looked upon women as inferior, as what does the saying go? I never saw women as, barefoot and pregnant and all that other stuff. I never experienced that in my home. I didn't grow up with that. That wasn't the deal with me. So, but I was ignorant enough to say, hey, you know, if they're treating you poorly, just get out. What is this? Why does it say this? Oh, hell no. I don't need that. Do this again. Let me put a thing on it. So I put a thing on it. Weba!
Much better. That's
All right.
much better. Now
Much
I can
better?
see you. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So coach, yeah, so like I was saying, you know, they would get
It's
into
a
those
crazy echo.
Uh-oh. So coach, like I was saying, you know, they would get into those
Crazy echo.
Uh-oh. So you got your phone on?
No, I turned it on. Is there an echo on your end? No.
I hear it through your end. I hear it.
What about now?
No. Now I don't hear it, but can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, technical difficulties. I'm sorry.
Not anymore. No, you're good now. So the bottom line was this, okay? So in my home, the power dynamic was on an equal plane. So there wasn't any. So
I'm here.
yeah. Oh, okay. So the power dynamic was equal. So there was no reason from my upbringing at home for me to view women as anything but my equal. That's it.
Right.
Right. My older brother never demonstrated anything other than what I saw at home either. My brother's 11 years older. So, but outside of the house, which I spent a lot of time outside of the house because they were both working, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In a predatory environment, right?
Yeah.
In Harlem and the Bronx.
Oh, wow. In Harlem. You grew up in New York City.
New York, baby. And I grew up at a time when, you know, things were rough. Before crack came into the scene, there was heroin. So, you know, and in the neighborhoods I grew up in, I was surrounded by gangs. Surrounded. And there were a lot of predatory alpha males. And yes, they treated girls terribly. Terribly. And of course, you know, I got to see it. I wasn't a part of it, but I got to see it, and I just couldn't understand how these girls they had no way out, honestly.
Yeah.
They didn't have a way out. But as adults, like I said, I mean, I'm able to analyze the dynamic within my home as an adult, but growing up, I'm more concerned with what time the cartoons are coming on, you know? So, but now that you know that, this is where it all started.
Yeah.
So at that time, I had already I was a correction officer, right? So as a state employee under the executive branch, there were expectations of me by the court. Right? There were expectations of me. Now, here I am. I just separated from my son's mother. That relationship went sour because of finance. She just so happened to be the type of person that couldn't hold on to money to save her life.
Right.
If she made $800,
she
spent $1,200.
Yeah.
And that created such a serious problem that we eventually had to break up. I wanted to progress. I purchased my first multifamily home. I was in corrections. I already had my CDL, so I was doing both jobs.
Mm.
And I was dead serious. I bumped into someone like in 2003, I think it was. And within this conversation, I was invited to a brokerage to apply for a part-time job at a brokerage. And I said, hey,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I said, I'm not saying no to that.
Right.
So, of course, I went through the whole thing. Usually what they do is, they put you on as a salesperson. You got to make cold calls.
Oh, like in
like
Pursuit of Happiness. Did you see that movie?
No, I never got to see it. But this is what they do. They give you like a long list of names.
Yeah, that's what they did. Yeah,
And basically, you're a glorified, what do you call those? Telemarketer. Yeah, you're glorified. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even after I got my license, I was a glorified telemarketer, okay? Now, getting that license was nothing easy, okay? That was a 6-hour exam. It was a brain breaker. And
but you did it.
Yeah, and I did it on the first time.
Wow.
Which kind of like put me at odds with my coworkers because we weren't the same shade, okay? And for me to have achieved that my first time around, that kind of like, okay? So here I am now, and I got my broker's license. I had to get my insurance license because if you sell, what do you call this product? Annuities. You have to have an insurance because it's an insurance vehicle as well. So you have to have both. I was also a mortgage. I was licensed to do mortgages as well.
Oh, cool.
Basically, yeah, I immersed myself in the world of finance. I immersed myself, and these are licenses. And being with the state, having these licenses, you got to be careful. You can't just So now, I get 2 of my nephews and their wives out of Philly. They're in the worst parts of Philly. I bring them up. One of them is living in the building that I bought.
That's a flat.
Right? So my nephew's wife was taking English classes, met a lady, told her that I teach salsa dancing because I used to teach. And
you do it all.
Yeah, hey, listen, I wore a lot of hats. So, yeah, I tell her, yeah, sure, no problem, I'll teach you. Because she was my niece's friend, I went to her house, clean, everything clean, churchgoer, 2 kids, on the surface, everything looked Krispy Kreme, right? Okay. Time went on. She showed interest. Yeah. I gave it back. Right? I gave it back. So the day finally came. So I go to my nephew and his wife, and I asked them, listen, I'm thinking about getting serious with this lady. I need to know, do you think it's okay for me to ask her hand in marriage? Oh, yeah. Oh, what? Huh? What? Yeah. So they said, oh, definitely. Just keep in mind, the man makes the woman. I didn't know what that meant because I never heard that expression before. We never used that in my home, so I don't know anything about that. So I'm saying, oh, okay, cool.
Oh boy.
So we go to the justice of the peace to get married. Right?
So quick question.
Yep.
So you went to justice of the peace, you got married, no prenup.
No prenup.
Go.
Just so that everybody knows, there are many states where a prenup is damn near worthless. Yeah. So I just
so
happened.
New York?
No, in Connecticut.
I don't know the laws in Connecticut, but anyway, go
terrible.
On.
They're terrible. So yeah. So and what I'm about to say, it might sound like an exaggeration, but it is not. What I walked out of that building with was not the same person that I walked in with. The change was that fast, immediate. Not kidding.
What happened?
All of a sudden, the disrespect and the rudeness immediately. I'm thinking to myself, nah, this ain't.
Wait,
this
how
ain't
long
happening.
did you know her before you got married?
At least a year.
Wow. So you two dated for a year.
A year.
Wow.
So, like you said, you know, they polish it. They got it nice and shiny and everything. They got it looking one way.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because while dating, I'm not gonna spend that much time where I would be able to see the actual. No, but that day, immediately after I got married, it was.
What
crazy.
did she do? What did she say? I want to know.
Oh, let's get the F out of here. Let's go. Like that, like with an attitude. Like, what? I'm like, yeah, we just got married. Hello. What the hell was that all about?
Oh my God.
Now, not long after that, my neighbor who owns the building next to mine, as I'm walking alone up the driveway, she comes up to me and she says, I heard you got married with that lady. I said, yeah, I did. Thinking that, wow, you're a gentleman. You got married. You didn't just. She said, what the fuck is wrong with you? Are you crazy? I was back to like, well, wait a minute. What? What? Are you stupid? How the hell did you marry that? And I was, listen, I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. What's up, Homestead? No idea, none. My niece knew a lot of dirt.
But she didn't tell you?
And she didn't tell me. See that? Look at that reaction. She didn't tell me nothing. So did my nephew. As a matter of fact, even before, while I was in the dating process, she had kicked her out because she was exposing her breast to my nephew. They never said what? They never said nothing. I even got a phone call from my friend. He said, yo, what's up with your lady, man? My son was standing outside the building and she's flashing them. Him and his friends. Like, what? This is after I got married, right?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
There was one night I'm in bed exhausted because I usually, I did.
When you a CO, you could.
But I had enough seniority. I had enough seniority at a jail facility because I was working in the I was working in the maximum, and in the maximum I didn't have enough seniority, so I transferred over to the jail where I had more seniority, and I was able to. So I chose to work second shift so I can do the brokerage during the day, work second shift, and the chances of me getting mandated for third shift was extremely low. So I wasn't even worried about that.
Yeah.
So here I go, and I'm exhausted because I'm working 3 jobs actually. I'm still doing I'm working the truck also because it was 5 on, 3 off. So on my 3 days off, I was working the truck.
Wow.
All right. So here we go, right? Yeah. So because I'm not playing anymore. You know, I spent too much of my life. You know.
I feel you. I don't be playing either.
So yeah. So you understand.
We ain't got that. Like, I don't want to be really old and still having to work. You know.
Yeah. Exactly. So here I am.
I have to have residual income coming in.
Residual. Thank you. I love that word. So, so here I am laying in bed, exhausted. I'm falling asleep. She's repeating my name over and over in a very low voice. Why are you looking like that? You see? I knew something wrong with that. So okay. So imagine her saying Burns because she used to always call me by my last name because that's how she met me. She met me in uniform, and you got your last name. So here we go. She's whispering in my ear, Burns, Burns. And I'm like half asleep and I go, what? She says nothing. Then I'm falling asleep again. Burns, Burns, Burns. What? She keeps doing this over and over again. I'm bugging out. What is this?
Was there an age difference?
6 years, I think.
Oh, so not even like she was like really young or something. Ooh, keep going. I'm getting anxious for you already. I'm getting anxious already.
Right. Listen. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit. I'm just gonna pick a certain events.
Yeah.
One time I'm in Dominican Republic. Her sister's aunt and her husband are staying with us because her husband, her sister's aunt's husband, is trying to get all his medical stuff straightened out for his what do you call that insurance, that disability insurance, right?
Okay. I'm
in Dominican Republic on a trip handling some business with family. I get a phone call from this lady, from her sister's aunt.
Oh,
listen,
no, don't say that she's flashing him.
I wish that she was doing that, okay? No, it ain't the flashing. She said, listen, you need to be real careful when you get back. I don't know who she was talking to, but she was trying to get information about how to kill you without leaving any evidence. Yeah.
Oh my God.
My son's mother comes over one day, mother effing me, asking where she's at. She wants to beat her ass. I have no idea what's going on because I used to take my son with me. And her son used to hang out with her son because they're the same age. She's got 2 boys. One was his age and one was younger. So they hung out. Now, I didn't know about all the stuff that was going on. I didn't find out years later that my son went and told his mother about an event that took place where her son saved him from getting poisoned by her. She tried to poison him. And I had no idea. But he went and told his mother. So when she came at me, she thought I was down with this whole shit. And I had no clue.
Where is she now?
I have no idea. Well, she's in Puerto Rico. AD. So she's in Puerto Rico right now. She took the kids. Listen, the divorce was okay. First, I initiated the divorce at least 3 times prior to her initiating the divorce, and she got everything. But I when I initiated the divorce, I couldn't get. They said I had to receive the notification for the court date at my home address. I said that's not possible. I'm not there, and if she gets it, she's gonna tear it up. I'm not gonna find out. I'm not gonna know. That's exactly what happened. Money down the drain every time. But then she finally did it. But she must have been under the impression that I wasn't going to follow through and agree to the divorce. And when I did show up to court for the divorce, honestly, I felt like the judge was like, tell the court officer to drop his pants and let me see what he's got between his legs. If he's got a penis there, he's done. That's how I was. I was done. Listen, whenever the judge asks a question, oh no, that was rhetorical. Shut the hell up. What? Yo, this woman, okay, so I had my trading account. And I never gave any information about my trading account to anyone. Ever. No one. I memorized my passwords, everything. And I never wrote it down anywhere. She shows up to court with a printout of the account. So she hacked my account. or she got this dude that she knows that hacked into my account. But check this out, right? When she presented it, I said, wait a minute. How did she get that? Nobody has my information. The DA was representing her because she was going for she was out going for public assistance. So of course the DA was their representative, but he stopped and said, wait a minute, what are you saying? You're saying she hacked your, it's the only way, because I never get, whoa, you're talking about a felony. Did you go to the police? And the minute he said that, the judge came in, intervened, and said, no, we're not talking about that, with an attitude and everything. I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on here? I had to ride along. I had a friend. This is a real friend, okay? I told him, listen, I can't be around town by myself. Please ride with me. Sure enough, she popped out of nowhere. My window was cracked open just a little bit. She's hanging off that thing. Get out the car! Get out the car! I'm going to call the cops on you that you hit me. Get out the car! What? Remember, I got those licenses, and I'm an officer.
Yes.
So I can't play these games. One time, I'm in the driveway. I gathered them. I spotted her walking into a pharmacy like 2 miles away. She couldn't have seen me from where I was. From my vantage point, she could not have seen me. So I took off. Went to my house, went upstairs, grabbed important documents to leave, got in the car, turned the car on, ready to move forward. There she was. She appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, what the hell? This woman's a witch. How the hell did she get over here? And this fact, because I didn't go upstairs to start rummaging. I knew exactly where my stuff was.
Yeah.
Straight to it. Right. The whole process of walking up the stairs, coming out, the keys in the whole nine, that whole process must have taken 1 minute and 20 seconds. I'm not even making that up. And there she was in the driveway walking up in front of the car. In front of the car. She ain't stupid. So as she's getting closer and closer to the car, she's got her arm on the car. I know her game. I know if I move forward or back, she's going to throw herself on the floor, scream, call for help. So I didn't move. She opened up the door. I kicked myself in the head for that because I said, damn, I should have locked the damn door.
Yeah.
Now she's sitting in there. Okay.
Gonna call the police.
Oh, she got to call the police, but listen to when she called the police. I drove out. I had to go to work. She refused to leave. I'm in front of the neighbor's driveway, and I'm telling her, please, listen, whatever you say, you're absolutely right, 100%. I'm not going against anything you say. You're 100% right. Okay. She turns the car off, grabs the keys, runs upstairs, and I'm in front of the neighbor's driveway, and the neighbor shows up, honking the horn, saying, listen, I'm sorry, please. I call the cops. Listen, this is my situation. Please. This lady just, okay, wait right here. They go upstairs. He comes, they both went upstairs. One comes down. Step out of the car, please. You already know. You look at that face. You already know. Get out of the car, please. Did you hit her? Hell no, I didn't lay a hand on her. Nothing. You sure? 100%. Listen, I believe you, and I'm going to tell you why, and he explained why. I'm not going to say it here, but he told me why. And he told me, listen, get whatever you need, go, and don't ever come back. Seriously, don't come back. Listen, check this out, right? She had everything of mine, every financial everything in her hands. I'm not talking about the actual licenses and documents and all that. No, but she had me by the right. She had me. She knew that she can stir up and get my all my stuff suspended. So in that case, I felt trapped. This woman used to force me to have sex with her. I didn't even want to have sex with her. She used to threaten me to have sex, and she made sure that I left what I needed to leave inside. She made sure because she
was
yeah,
trying
she
to
got
get
pregnant. She did. She did.
Did
Let me tell you
Did
something.
you ever meet the other fathers of the children?
Yeah. Oh, that was a big blowout. That was a big blowout. I heard her saying terrible things about those kids' fathers. And I grabbed the kids. I said, listen, no. Don't let her.
Kids?
Yeah, I spoke to the kids. I said, listen, no. Your father is not the one that's not trying to see you. That's a lie. Your father wants to see you. He wants to be. It became a huge blowout. She and I got into a huge argument. I said, no, you're wrong. You shouldn't do that. You're lying to those kids. You're creating something against that man.
About earlier. Remember I was saying
yes. And I kept quiet because I know. And she was the one coming up with that nonsense. And I said, that's dead wrong. You're lying to those kids. You're creating something in these kids' image of their own father. That's a damn lie. I'm not going for that. I don't care what you do. And it was because of me, we organized a trip down to Jersey, and I took them to go see their father. And they got to be with him alone. Listen. Oh, I'm not that type of guy. Listen, when my son's mother, apparently my son's mother wasn't being straightforward with, because she had 2 daughters prior to having my son. And I was raising them. The oldest one didn't care for me because she thought that I'm the one that divided her mother and her father. Okay, so whatever.
Is she the child? So, she doesn't know dynamic.
Right. I didn't hold it against her, nothing.
You can't.
But the father now, the father was another story. Because she was lying, saying that I was hitting her and all kinds of crazy stuff, and he was believing that stuff. This guy was an extremely dangerous person because he used to work for a mobster and he used to take care of business for this mobster. Okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he threatened me, right? Now, check this out, right? I'm at a birthday party. I don't know how familiar you are with some of the gangs in New York.
Yeah.
But his daughter's godfather was the leader of the Savage Skulls. So we're at McDonald's having a birthday party, and he shows up with 3 of his henchmen to come see me. Now, because of the associations that I had, he didn't just come in all. No, he was real careful. We got to talking, and he left it at that. Okay, that's dealt with. The daughter's father, he got real sick because he's got lupus. He got real sick, and he was in the hospital. And I told my son's mother, listen, go to his bed. That was your first. That's the father of your daughters. No way I'm going to come between that. He's in need. Go. Even his own mother called me and thanked me because of all that other stuff that went on. They thought I was going to start some beef with him.
Yeah.
No, I'm not interested in any of that.
Right.
The children were a priority.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. Right. So, yeah. So with this lady, I wasn't having it. This man was suffering because of what she was doing. Listen, this woman used to tell me on occasions, I hope your mother dies. Just like that. I hope your mother dies.
Oh my God. I want to know, like, what's wrong? What happened to her? Why is she like that?
Oh, the beautiful thing. Oh, listen, you're the first person that I tell this story to that asks the question that you just finished asking. Everybody else would ask me, what did you do to her?
Right.
What did you do to her? Nothing. You sure? I'm telling you, nothing.
I've seen a lot.
So you understand.
What, like, there's something happened to her.
Listen.
Did she ever talk to ask you, like, did she ever talk, like, confide in you?
No. Like that? No.
Something
No.
happened to her because there's a reason why she acts like that. Or
Well,
either
she ain't
that,
the only one. Her mother's like that too. Her mother was worse.
boom.
Her mother's worse because her
Boom.
mother
She's repeating
got
what her mom did.
her mother got locked up for attempted murder.
She's repeating what her mom did. And then what I also was thinking about as you're telling the story is I can't diagnose anyone, but she probably has some type of psychological disorder that's not obviously not treated.
Okay, and fine, but my
I'm not
question.
excusing it. This is how
No. I know that. I know you're not excusing it. My question was going to be, while we're in court, why didn't anybody bother to?
Those people in court, they're not always.
They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn.
First of all, they don't. It takes. I can't say everybody, because even in my old profession, everybody wasn't the type of person I was. Like I told you, I would go to programs before I sent families there. Everybody's not doing that. They used to think I was crazy, but I'm like, if we want this family to really succeed, if we're going to send them to some stupid program that's not going to work, what's the point? So I would go first, and I would like go in like if I was a client, just to see how you're treated, all of that.
I was sent to anger management classes.
Oh Lord.
You know what the incident was? I'm trying to get out the house. She's blocking the doorway.
Oh my God.
I put my hands on my side like this. Kept my hands on my side, and I wiggled my way through, grabbed the doorknob, and got out. Just for that.
You had to go to anger management. You had to go.
I had to go to anger management class for that. Yeah.
But she was never
Nope.
evaluated.
Nope.
I'm telling you, man.
When my mother passed,
Lord.
because she
My
had cancer. She passed in 2010. When she passed, we had a picture of her at the wake. This woman sent me the same picture on my phone, laughing at my mother's death, mocking me.
Oh my God.
How disgusting is that?
That's evil. That is
How disgusting
evil.
is that?
That is evil. So I definitely think you were dealing with somebody that I believe she sounds bipolar.
You did more, and the time you've been here, you've done more than all the court sessions I went to combined did. You've done more right now.
And that happens so much in the system, and fathers and men are treated like the devil before they even hear the whole story. And I've seen it so many times where the woman is like this terrible mother, and she can go in the court, and the everybody in the court is catering to the mother and not listening to anything the father has to say. Like right now, I'm involved in a lot of fatherhood groups within the system because I'm
you and your husband, right?
Well, my husband's channel is about Black fathers. He's going to focus a lot about that, and he's really trying to
tell me the channel's name.
It's Black effing Fathers. I think if you put it together like all one word on YouTube.
How do I spell the effing part?
F.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I got it.
She's right part here. Devil, Jackson said. That's very, very
yeah. Part devil. Well, let me tell you how.
And the thing that I'm thinking of is like what you were saying with her kids and what she was doing.
Oh, she was terrible. Let me tell you something. If you saw the interaction with her kids, no, you would intervene immediately. Oh, but let me tell you something. I reported her because I'm an officer.
You're a mandated reporter.
Yeah. I can't just watch her do what she's doing. That's insane.
Right.
So I had to. And that right there, oh my God, you can imagine what that started with that. Here's her husband's page, guys.
So they can't. So wait. So did they come out?
Who? No, they didn't. They did nothing. They went. They talked to her at the door. Oh, everything's good.
They never
See you
came
later.
in?
No, they never interviewed them or anything. They
Oh,
just came to the
wow.
door, knocked on the door. Listen, I'm outside at the post office, and a friend of mine who's a bondsman, we're talking. Okay, I got the call. I have to leave you. I gotta go bail this guy out. He knows. I'm thinking maybe he's going to the facility I work in. Oh, you're gonna get somebody out of such and such facility? No, I gotta bail him out right out of here from the hospital. What? Yeah, he got stabbed up, and I had to wait for him to come out of surgery. Oh wow, yeah, he got jumped. No, his wife did that. What? And here's the crazy part. She admitted that he never laid a hand on her. She stabbed him up, and they didn't even cuff her. Nothing. See ya. Have a nice day.
She didn't even get arrested.
She did not get arrested.
You know, but the times have changed a little bit with that. Not 100%, but a little. It's a little better for fathers now. A little bit better. Because, well, at least in New Jersey, what they've done is they've changed the law with domestic violence, because I guess because they got sick and tired of people using the police as like I don't know, a weapon, you know, using.
And that's one of the worst response. So if you ask any cop, that is the worst call.
Both people will end up arrested. Both of you.
I could work with that.
Because it'll stop people from calling, that's for sure. Because you don't want to go to jail too, do you? Like if you're saying there's an incident, don't let either one of you have a scratch, a mark, anything. Everybody going to jail. That's how they do it.
They need to do that in Connecticut now.
I don't know how Connecticut works. But
that's a big chunk of the story.
But
besides the fact that
like you definitely were dealing with
isolated me.
And then you were living in a constant state of crisis. How long did this go on?
5 years.
You were living in a constant state of crisis every day. Now you never knew what you was gonna do.
And to go into that damn correctional environment with that,
and then go to work and work in the, oh my God.
The correctional environment was it, because listen, between the co-workers and the co-workers were worse than the inmates. Yeah. Worse.
Yeah. And
to deal with all that, because it's psychological warfare in there.
Yeah. So you were constantly in a state of psychological warfare, because there was psychological warfare at home too.
Yep.
So after you separated from her, you finally got out and got away. How long was it before she like left you alone?
She still bothers me.
Oh my God.
To this day, we're talking 2010. I don't communicate. I don't respond. Nothing. Matter of fact, she looks for me to find whatever new number I've got. Anything. Nothing. She cut. Okay. I have no communication with my children. None. Zero. I got 2 with her. None. Okay. And people always ask me, "Oh man, but what about your kids?" Bro, listen. I'm gonna put it to you this way. Okay. Imagine you're a diabetic that needs insulin. Okay. And you are hundreds of miles away from the nearest pharmacy, from the nearest clinic. You're not going to make it. You don't have a vehicle. You're not going to make it. You do have enough insulin so that you can get to wherever you got to go, but it's inside a cage. It's inside a cage, and there's a hungry ass tiger inside that cage. So that vial of insulin represents my children, and the tiger is her. Wait, come get your insulin. Come get it.
That's a perfect analogy. That, you know what? That conversation should be had. Like, you should do that with a bunch of other fathers that have situations like that too. These are the conversations. That's why I'm so glad that I'm meeting people that are of a certain age here on YouTube, and not so much of like the younger people, because I like to have these types of conversations, like real life things. Because imagine that. Because, you know, automatically people are like, oh, you should be going to bat for your kids. And, oh, you should. If you go to court, you're going to have to disclose where you live.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes. She's going to get the complaint. She's going to see your address. She's going to know where you live, or she's going to know what you're doing, because you're going to have to put it in the court document. And here she come again. Oh, God. Oh, God. How old are your kids?
17 and 16.
And when's the last time you got to speak to them?
I got to speak to my son. He's the older one. I got to speak to my son because of my eldest. My eldest and him communicate, so I got a chance to talk to him on the sneak tip. My daughter wants nothing to do.
Does he understand like what's happening?
I don't know how much he understands, because everything he gets from her and her family that back her up. Her sisters are a damn mess too. They live in Puerto Rico. Yep. 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 And yeah, it. Listen, I remember the last day I saw my kids. I held it back, but as soon as I got in that car,
because you knew that was it.
That was it. I knew it. Those tears just flowed.
How old were they?
She was still months, and he was just over a year. They're Irish twins.
Oh my God! So you haven't seen them since they were babies.
Since they were babies. I mean, I got to physically see my son in pictures, and through
FaceTime.
Yeah. But other than that, I'll never forget it. That's burned into my brain that very day. I knew it. I wasn't gonna, because I know how evil she is.
Puerto Rico with them.
Yep.
I wonder what she's been telling them all these years.
That's a good question. Because she is evil as all hell. What the hell's going on here?
And I'm here thinking like, what's a workaround? Like, how could you get to see your kid? But then I'm like,
she's not going to allow for a workaround.
Yeah.
She's not going to allow for a workaround.
She's not. And even if you go to court, because I'm thinking, this is what a lot of people probably told you or said, go to court and file for custody.
Oh. Yeah, you could try. Yeah. Listen.
The best that they'll probably do. And then again, it's going to open a can of worms. Because from what you've said,
it really is.
It's going to open up a humongous can of worms.
It really is.
And then if the kids come around, they haven't seen you in so many years. So what will happen is,
I'm more afraid of what will happen to my younger kids.
Yeah.
If they ever had a chance to interact. Because I don't know how my daughter is. Because my daughter wants nothing to do with me. She never talks, nothing. And I'm I'm concerned that they might try to harm their little brothers.
Mm. Oh, you have other kids.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 12-year-old.
Mm.
My 12-year-old knows about his older brother and sister, besides the oldest. But listen, my wife got to meet her one time.
Meet who? The other lady?
Yeah. She was freaking out. At everybody, everywhere I worked, with the exception of the brokerage, but the trucking company and corrections, they knew about her. They knew about her. They were bugging out. The trucking company told me, listen, make sure that lady don't ever come here again, because she used to go to these places and stir up drama.
Oh my God. She used to come to your job.
To my job and stir up drama.
Look. I'm like those two, your kid. That my main concern is those two kids. Because she obviously, because you said her mom was worse. So
her mom was bad, yeah.
This behavior that she has is either genetic or, well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's genetic and it's it was learned, because she saw her mom react the way, however her mom reacts, she does the same thing. So then you have a daughter. She has a daughter that has been around her.
Those two can't be together too long either.
Oh, they don't get along.
Oh, it's
daughter. Your ex-wife's mom and her can't be. So I wonder if that's the same relationship she has with her daughter, with your daughter.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if I had to judge on what my son revealed, I think she's got her by her hip.
Mm.
Yeah. I think she's got her by the hip.
I see like how it's not just women that go through this stuff.
No, that's why I said what I said in my video. Yeah. And I was surprised to hear it when you said it, because that was confirmation. Yeah. When you said it, that was confirmation.
Yeah, men go through it too. And that's the thing is like when a man goes and talks about the craziness that he's in, it's not taken seriously.
No, it's not.
You know? But a woman can cause as much harm. I wonder we probably will never know, like the real statistic on how many male homicides are at the hand of their partner, right? We know about women, but I wonder, we don't know about the men. And then sometimes when we talk about like male victims, women, not every woman, but some women go, oh, like that's not as important. It is. It's still a human being harassed. No, who wants to live life like this? We only have this one life.
Like, that conversation that I had with my coworker about battering.
Yeah.
I think my curiosity came from what I was going through at the time, but that was in 2007. Yeah. So I asked her, what's the deal with that? Because I couldn't escape.
See,
I worked so hard to get what I had. My properties, my licenses, working with the state. I worked so hard to get all those things to just lose it all.
And then one false report and boom.
That's it. That's it. One false report, and that's all she wrote.
Hi, Yolanda. Yolanda said, "I'm so sorry you had to go through this." We should look at some of the comments. We just talking.
Straight talking.
Hi, hook it up, Homestead. Hi, hook it up, Homestead. We got Jackson Lamar in the building.
Jackson is
Jackson been
He's been naughty.
commenting
He's
throughout.
usually naughty. Jackson is also known as Justin Bieberlake.
He said, "What a terrible situation to be put in, all because of a musty, dusty, old, functional, dysfunctional." Oh, sorry. Wait, let me start over. What a terrible situation to be put in because of that musted, dusty, non-functional, dysfunctional beach.
Yeah, that's the resident jester.
Listen, he said, read the comments.
Let
I
me get
can't
my
scroll up.
buttermilk,
You gotta read
my
it.
buttermilk hot chocolate. Be right back. He's gonna go get his buttermilk hot chocolate. There you go.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds real good. But that's I'm not naughty, you son of a beach. That's I'm glad you got out of that alive, because like you said,
Me too.
when you were warned. And
From that moment on, he insisted I take food to work with me. You know where that food went, right?
Don't eat her food.
It went in the garbage.
Wow.
I was ordering out every day at work. Every day.
You couldn't eat her food.
Not even a little bit. I didn't trust it.
Because like
She
you
used to
said, you
record.
tried to poison someone else, didn't she?
She used to record some series about Black Widow wives. She used to record those things. Yeah. She used to watch and record those things.
Woo, Lord.
She used to remind me of a friend of hers that lived in Bridgeport, Connecticut that was a hitman. She used to remind me of that.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now you've been married, like after you got out of that, how long were you like, I am not dealing with any more women?
For like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for like 2 years.
So the divorce went through, everything was good. Like once she
Everything's good.
filed.
Yep.
You didn't
Once
have
she
to pay
filed.
alimony, nothing?
Listen.
Wow.
No. I did what I had to do.
Oh, you had to pay alimony.
Nope, no alimony.
Oh,
Said
no
it
alimony.
has to be past 5 years. Yeah. Oh, right on the
Like perfect right before the
timing.
5 years.
Perfect timing.
Wow.
Perfect
Like
timing.
I always say, you never know what people go through.
No.
But it's good to share your stories because somebody else can learn from it.
That's what I want to do. No shit.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say this stuff.
Because you know what? You're here to say it, right? You're here to tell the story. So thank God for that. Because my goodness.
I want people to learn, like you were talking about it with that same purpose.
Mhm.
You know, let's be educated about this, because there are people who don't know, really don't understand. You can tell they don't understand by a certain phrase that they say.
Yeah, and they say, when they say that, I'm like, you have no idea. You can't just I'm sure you would have, after the first really crazy, when you were like, oh, she's really crazy. I'm sure you wanted to just leave, right?
Yeah.
Could you?
No.
And
Like I was locked in.
Like you were working. It's not that you didn't have the funds.
Right. It's not the funds. It's all my assets, everything that I acquired. My licenses, this job with the state, that doesn't just come by. They don't just grab you off the street and say, "Hey, you want a job with the state?"
The academy and all of this.
Yes,
that's work.
The probation was crazy.
Probation period, and then like after you do like when you apply. And then the psychological test and all of that. Like my friend, she was a correction officer.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she retired yet, but she can retire. But I don't think she retired yet. But you go through a lot just to get that job.
Yes.
Just to lose it.
Yes.
It's not a job you walk in and you're like, hey, you hiring? No, this is
Exactly.
yeah.
And let me tell you something. That exam, that Series 7 exam, that is no joke.
Right.
That Series 7 exam is 6 hours long. You got to get fingerprinted. They do a thorough background check. Thorough.
Mm.
Even more thorough than my job for the corrections. They get an even more thorough background check than that.
Wow.
They get all up in your finances. If you have a foreclosure, you're disqualified.
Mm.
If you have any kind of debts that are just
Any kind of
disqualified,
craziness, you're gone.
gone. You're not even allowed to take the test.
It's not a game. And
No.
then, so you dealing with that. That's the thing. Like, that's why I say there's so many like intricate details why people end up staying.
Yes.
And
I
then like if you have children too, like you got to think about relocating them,
potential harm to them
potential
by
harm
her.
to them, just to get back at you. It's like, let's say you get involved with someone and you have a child from another relationship, and now he starts getting abusive. Who's to say he won't start doing stuff to your kids? It's more to it than just leave. You know, that I think that's so dismissive.
I learned my lesson.
It's not that serious. It's not like he cheated on you and you fine,
Right.
you leave. But this is different. There's some
Very
real
different
life stuff out here. You're in your truck right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm always in my truck. Look, I think even Hook It Up said it. Where is it?
Right, Hook It Up Homestead, especially when they're going to come after you. No wonder you stay in that truck. So with your truck driving, you own your truck.
I used to have a company, and it went downhill.
Like during the pandemic.
Yeah, there was a series of circumstances that toppled it down. A family member was a part of that. That fails. Yeah.
So now you just drive.
Now I'm a company driver. Well, I said this from before. During the Biden administration, I used to go on the channels of truck drivers. I made it clear most truck drivers are Trump supporters, but I made it crystal clear that I'm not going to get into a truck until I see who wins the election. And I was crystal clear. If Kamala wins the election, I'll buy another truck. If Trump wins the elections, I'm going to go on as a company driver.
Right.
And it worked out better for me as a company driver than buying my truck again, because there's so much turmoil right now, economic turmoil.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, especially in the trucking industry. We've been in a depression. We've been in a not a depression, but a recession for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
So it's very hard. Anybody who, yeah. How you feeling right now?
And people always think that trucking, like if you become a trucker, like that's you make like loads and loads of money.
I ran down. I think it was with Tara, with the professor, the one that left when you came in. I was going over. I think it was in one of my lives. I was going over some of the costs associated with owning and operating a truck. Look,
it's a lot. No, you know what? It's so funny. One of my friends, she used to be in the corporate world. She quit her corporate job to become a trucker, and I think she owns 2 trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And she always posts this stuff like on Facebook when she has to repair the truck and how much it costs. Oh my! One time she burst a tire got flat or something. It was one tire. It was so much. I can't remember the exact amount, but I was like,
look,
damn.
One of the front tires, easily. Well, first of all, if you're going to replace the front tire, you can't replace it with an inferior product. It's got to be top end, because
Yeah.
when those tires blow,
Everything blows.
you might blow.
Right.
You might be out of here.
Yeah.
So one of those tires can easily cost you, one tire will cost you between $800 and $1,000.
Yeah, I think it
One
was
tire.
that, and then it was something else. It was the it was like maybe it was 2 tires in the front. I don't know. It was she had to get tires done and something else, and it came up to like $8,000.
Yeah, easily.
I was
Easily.
like, God, break.
Don't get it twisted. Every day that you're not moving is a day that you're not generating money, is a day that somewhere along the line you're gonna need that money.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, and this happened just recently. I'm in Arizona doing a delivery in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
I arrive on Wednesday, which is the day I'm supposed to deliver. Everything's locked up. It's a brand new construction site. I've got insulation for the construction, something like 1,600 rolls of insulation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at my watch.
There's nobody there.
There's nobody there. I call my dispatcher. Oh, what do you mean nobody? Dude, there's nobody here. Okay, so I look at the paperwork and I see there's a phone number on the paperwork, and I call, and it's the receiver from this place. What are you doing here? Oh, what? What do you mean, what am I doing here? You guys are supposed to get a delivery today. No. We told these people that we cannot receive anything until Monday.
So now
Because
what?
Okay, now what? I'm here. It's Wednesday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
$2,000 each day. Gone.
Because you have to sit with this stuff in here.
Sit with the stuff.
In Arizona.
Hot as hell.
Wow.
I call my dispatch and I say, hell no. We ain't
So
doing
when
this.
that happens, they don't like no nothing, like no compensation, nothing.
I got compensation. But I'm the one that unloaded the damn thing. It took me all day to unload. What?
Oh, wait, hold on. So you left it there?
Yeah, I told the dude, listen, I can't hold on to your stuff until Monday.
Yeah.
Give me permission to unload this thing. Okay, just do it this way. You got it. I'm in there. It took me the whole damn day to unload that trailer.
In Arizona.
I got shorts of that delivery on the channel.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna look at that. Oh my God.
I unloaded that damn thing because I'm not waiting until Monday. These wheels have to turn. And that's as a company driver. I'm gonna give you another nightmare scenario. I'm going across I-40 in New Mexico. Everything is all groovy prior to New Mexico. Everything is all gravy. I get to New Mexico. Now you're at 5,000, 6,000 feet. Different weather.
Yeah.
It starts snowing. Highway shut down while you're in the lane. I'm in the passing lane. Shut down. Everybody shut down for 5 hours. Shut down. Oh, but that's not the worst part of it. Okay? Because my clock is running out. So once everything is said and done, I got to pull over somewhere and refresh my hours. It's going to take 10 hours to refresh it. And then I got to get down to Phoenix once again to deliver.
Oh, when you say your clock is running out, you can only drive for a certain amount of time.
I can only drive 11 hours within a 24-hour window. But once your clock starts, you don't have 24 hours. You got 14 hours. So you got to do that within 14 hours. Once that time is up, you got to shut down for 10 hours, and then your 11 hours come back.
Wow.
Okay? So here I am. I'm on my way down to my delivery. I arrived 4 minutes late to my delivery, and they said, you got to reschedule. Huh? For 4 minutes? Do you guys know where the hell I came from? You know, you got to reschedule.
So for when?
2 days later.
Oh my God.
Oh no, but wait. It gets better. Thank God I'm the company driver. Because 2 days later, I had to go deliver it to a different facility. I go to the different facility. Oh, they look at the paperwork. Oh. Yeah. Wait 1 minute. He leaves and comes back. Okay, we can unload this, but you got to pay $970 up front for us to unload you. Really? Yeah, a relocation fee. Oh, that's nice. Again, if I own my own truck, that'd be coming out of my pocket. So they give me a door. I open up my doors. I back up.
What?
They unload. They're done. We're finished. Come get your paperwork. All right, cool. I pull away from the door to close my doors. And I'm looking inside my trailer and I'm saying, oh, man, I think these guys made a mistake. They didn't unload anything. The trailer's still full. I didn't say anything. I went, I got my paperwork. And when I sat in the truck and I'm looking at the paperwork, I'm thanking the Lord. I'm thanking the Lord. I'm thanking the Lord that I'm not an owner operator, that I'm a company driver. $970 just to take 2 pallets off. 2 pallets. 4 minutes that I was late. They could have unloaded that thing in seconds. Sent me over there 2 days later, losing money for 2 pallets, and I have to come up with $970 right off the rip. What?
No way.
What? Oh, but that ain't the best one. That's nothing. That's nothing. I got a juicier one. Now imagine you own the truck. What I say, $2,000 a day, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Trailer's yours. Truck is yours. You go to a place. Some fatality occurs on the highway. Everything shut down. You get to the facility late. Here we go with the rescheduling again. All right, no problem. We'll reschedule. I'm tired anyway. I need some sleep. I'm thinking next day.
Next day.
I call. Dispatcher says no. I'm a company driver. You're not. You own the truck and the trailer. Okay? You're paying the insurance. You're paying $36,000 a year for that insurance.
Mm-hmm.
You got a rescheduling time, 8 a.m. next month. What? There's got to be a mistake. What do you mean next month? Now, get ready for this. Matter of fact, hide your chin because I'm coming in hard. I'm coming in. I'm swinging pretty hard. I'm going for it.
Forget my face. Hold
Yeah. Cover yourself.
Cover it up.
Here it comes. Cover up. Here it comes. Imagine if you got a refrigerated load and you got it set at -10 and your delivery is in Georgia in the summer. It's hot as hell.
It's hot.
And that fuel is burning. First of all, where the hell are you going to park that trailer? for a month.
A month.
And that tank has to get fueled
For a month.
for a month. So you can't go too far
For a month.
for a month.
And you said $2,000 a day.
A day
Hold on.
for a month.
2,000 times. Let's say let's what
It
month
ain't
you
it ain't
said?
it ain't the shortest month, okay?
It's
So
not
it ain't
February.
Let's go with a 30-day month.
Let's go 30 days.
Okay, I heard it drop. I heard it fall.
60K. Damn.
You got to pay for that parking. Somebody's got to fill that tank.
How much it costs to fill up the whole tank with diesel fuel?
Diesel and DEF, you're looking at about, right now, you're looking at about anywhere between, depending on what part of the nation you're in, it could be anywhere between $600 and $800
To fill it up.
to fill it up.
And I'll say, how long you think it'll last? Like just sitting idle, burning a full tank.
You're no, you won't go through the tank. But
So we got $60,000 so far. Let's say
Yeah.
plus $700 for the gas.
700, yeah, 700 every other day.
This is a joke. You're kidding.
No,
So 700 times 15. Because I'll just every other day. So we'll say half of that. That's so far we got $70,000. 70,500.
you got to get your oil done.
Look, I'm backing the truck up. We taking this stuff. Beep, beep. Take your shit.
And that's without the bumps on the road. Okay?
Yeah, and your tire blowing and the this and the that.
I'm going across New Mexico. You got to do your pre-trip and you got to show it
And
on
you're probably
your,
always stressed, and then you're dealing with like drivers and people complaining. And
listen, how do you think I got this? It's healing now. How do you think I got this?
did you punch someone?
Yes. And let me tell you something. I'm not about that. I'm not about the violence. I'm really not. Listen, I survived in the hood and I fought a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not one of them dudes that were courageous. No, I fought scared. Okay.
Yeah.
The only time I wasn't scared, the only time I fought out of anger was when I saw somebody being abused, right? So
Right.
somebody getting bullied, or I saw somebody messing with an elderly person. Then,
Oh, I've got to get off in like 8 minutes.
cool. Then when something like that happened, you already know the S came out, Superman.
Oh, that reminds me. I remember one time we were in Brooklyn. We were downtown Brooklyn, and we saw this guy beating up his girlfriend, like outside in the middle of the street, like beating her tail, like beating her behind. And eventually, like nobody was stopping it. We were little girls. Like I was like a teenager, like 15, maybe. Babe, I'm coming in like 8 minutes, okay?
Tell him I love him.
So finally, huh?
Tell
What
him
you
I
said?
love him.
Babe, Solomon loves you.
Oh, tell Solomon.
He said, what's up? He went like this, what's up? Yeah. So they finally, a guy came and like intervened. But guess what happened?
Yeah.
The guy came and intervened, and the girl started hitting on the guy that intervened. And I was
What?
like, don't touch him. Don't touch him. And they ran off
What?
together, the couple.
See what I mean?
You gotta just let it be.
You gotta let it go, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like I said, I'm not. That's not
I'll
my
never,
thing.
you know, there's certain images you won't forget. I'll never forget that because I was so scared because the way he was beating her, I was like, he's gonna kill her. Like he was punching the crap out of her. Like it was bad.
Listen,
We grew up in New York, Jackson. It's
listen.
the belly of the beast.
I've seen people unalived in so many different ways, right in front of me, in so
Right in
many
front of
different
you.
ways. It's ridiculous. And there's this one that traumatized me for the rest of my life. I can't get rid of that. I can't get rid of this for nothing. So bad that because of this incident, I don't take elevators no matter where I go. When I visit my sister, when I visit my sister on the 13th floor,
should you tell me? Yeah,
I
go
don't
on,
think-
say it.
I'm in the elevator with my friend's brother. I didn't know what happened. I guess I found out later on because his brother told me. Apparently, he went and stuck up a Jamaican spot. Okay. We're in the elevator. We already pressed the button. It's one of those elevators where you got one door that slides and the other one that opens out. You know, the old fashioned.
Yeah, the old school elevator. Yeah.
So this thing was sliding. It stopped. The elevator door was open. Boop, 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 boop. Right next to me. Right next to me. This dude he's dripping to the floor. Right? Leaking all over the place.
Mm-mm.
Door sliding because the dudes let the doors close. I know I didn't get hit because they at no point in time. And that shit sounded so damn loud.
Yeah.
They
'cause it's
sounded like
echoing in the
explosions.
elevator.
Door slid closed. Went to whatever floor it was. I don't even remember the floor. I'm looking at this dude leaking. Door opens. I'm out. I don't know nothing because that's the way of New York.
Yes.
You don't know nothing.
I ain't see nothing. I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing. I got the hell up out of there. Yeah, some doors open. You can hear doors opening. Everybody's curious. I'm out. Ran up into his brother. Yeah. I don't even remember him telling me if he made it or not. I remember him complaining that he did something stupid, that he went and robbed these Jamaicans at a spot. Oh, well. That's the one. And let me tell you something. I've seen people thrown off rooftops.
Yeah, but not like you ain't like
I've seen
that,
people
like,
stabbed
right
up.
next to you like that.
Stabbed up in my presence. Stabbed up, neck
Yeah.
sliced. Dude grabbing on his neck like this. Thing pouring out all over the place. Watching this dude until I'm at a carnival like 20 feet away. All of a sudden you hear screaming, dude. They're carrying him. You know, you can tell he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But by the way his body was when they were carrying him, you know he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And by the way, the guy who offed him, I got to see him at the maximum facility that I was working in. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I got to meet one of my boys from the Bronx up in that facility too. I'll never forget it. He was coming out of one of those vocational education things,
Mm-hmm.
and he saw me, put his head down, and kept it moving. Didn't say he didn't want nobody to know.
Yeah, you can't.
So I wound
you
up
gonna be
working.
like, what's up to the CEO?
Right, embracing him and
gotta live
take
there.
pictures with him. Yeah, so I was working in the same housing unit that he was in. So he came up on the slide with nobody, and he came up to me and he said, "Yo, do any of the fellas know you're doing this?" I said, "Nah, I ain't gonna say nothing. Peace."
Yeah.
Yo, are you kidding me or what? Yeah, so there was a lot of. I actually remember taking a piece of somebody's skull home. Yeah, I took the dude's. He was tossed out of a roof. He was splattered. 85th Street between Broadway and West End. I took a piece of his skull home.
Wow.
Crazy. I almost stepped on his brains too. The whole crowd said, "You watch it." I almost stepped on his brains.
New York, you see some
Listen,
crazy stuff in New
you can
York.
imagine what I saw because I was a cab driver there too, a yellow cab driver.
Mm-mm-mm.
Ooh-wee.
That's like you wanted some excitement. Just walk up and down the streets of New York. That's it. You're gonna see something crazy.
Oh my God! And and Times Square, the Times Square when we grew up, it ain't nothing like
Times Square was not the Times Square now. That was the red light
Disney now. This is
that was
Disney.
the red light district back then. 42nd Street was.
They had everything. Pimps, prostitutes, drugs everywhere. The kung fu. I used to go down there for the kung fu movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like $4.
I didn't go. I wasn't. So I wasn't. I was too young.
Well, that's the reason why I got kicked out of Bronx High School of Science.
Oh, you went to Bronx High School of Science?
Yeah, I passed.
Got in?
Yeah, I was in. I got into Bronx High School of Science, Brooklyn Tech, and Stuyvesant. I made it to all three.
Oh, you smart.
What?
I didn't get into none. I took the test. I didn't get into none.
When the results came back.
But I was always a bad tester. I would get too nervous.
When the results came back, everybody was looking at me like, "What? This guy made it?" I couldn't believe it either. And I also made it to music and art because I used to play the violin then too.
Yeah, I was good. I was good in that. Like I got into all those schools I like to audition for.
Yeah,
for drama, for stuff like that. I would get into that. But
I played for the Bronx Worldwide.
I wanted to go to Brooklyn Tech so
my
bad.
homeboy went to Brooklyn Tech. Yeah, I made it to Bronx High School of Science, but the streets were calling me, and I bounced. I was a truant. It was my first year. That's your probationary year. I said, buddy.
They don't play that in those schools.
No, they don't. They said,
they're like, oh, you want to be one of them? So go be one of them. Get out.
Yeah. They kicked me right the hell out. I wound up at Brandeis High School directly into the honors program immediately. Mm-hmm. Now, my mother.
All right, I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta go. I gotta go. I have my class first thing in the morning, and I gotta do one more thing before I go to sleep. I gotta get to bed. So this is really good. Like, we gotta do this again. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're so organized.
Tomorrow morning, guys, when y'all are still asleep, I'm gonna be up screaming and working people out.
Thank you so much, Miri.
Thank you for sharing. Like that was good.
And thanks everybody for showing up.
Thank you guys for
giving us love and support. Guys, give me a heads up next time. I got a body condom that I can wear next time you guys decide to show this much love. And
yes, guys. So I'll be back another time if Solomon will have me back.
Of course, whenever you want. Now you have to do this for me. Whenever you go on your live, let everybody know. Hey, Solomon had his thongs on backwards during the live. Tell him
that you had your thong on backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all should come over and watch next time.
See, that's code right there. That's code for you missed out.
You missed out. You missed out. But there's but I had a good time. So that's really all that matters.
Yeah. So and thank you.
So have a great night. Good night, everyone in the chat.
Good night, everybody. Yeah. It's time for me too. Stay fresh. Keep it moist. All right. Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.